36 chapters, ranging from the Triangle, which is Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, all the way to the coast of North Carolina, Swansboro, Jacksonville, Morehead City, that way. If you're not familiar with BNI, it is Business Networking International, the world's largest networking organization. And our job is to help each other grow their business. And that following BNI's motto of givers gain. And unfortunately, no guest again this week. Had some scheduling issues as of Friday, but I'm here again with you, and we're going to follow up a little bit on last week when we talked about reverse engineering, and we're going to talk about proactive versus reactive with your business. And this applies to life as well, folks. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sure you have a list around the house, list of errands to run, list of little things to do here and there, and just keep staring at the list for like a week or so. I feel your pain on that. So we're going to talk about the 5 ways to be more proactive or reactive to grow your business. So the first question is, are you running your business or is your business running you? Most small business owners started their business for a number of reasons. One is they knew the craft and they finally wanted to be their own boss. They got tired of working for somebody else. They wanted to control their schedule. They wanted better hours because if they want to stop working at 3:30 on a Tuesday to go to a Little League game for their son or daughter, they can do that and they don't have to clear it with anybody. They may want to travel more. That's what with me with coaching is I wanted flexibility. Some people want cold hard cash. They don't want to work for somebody. They want the money that that person's making. And usually when we talk to small business owners that are 12 to 18 to 24 months in, they're working like a dog. And that's fine. That's to be expected early on. But if you're 3 or 4 or 5 years in and you're still working sun up to sundown, you really only bought yourself a job because you're not growing. You're probably not growing the business much. Don't know if you've hired, but if you're continuing to wake up at the same time you did when you worked for someone else and work even later than you did for someone else because now you're the boss and you've got to do all that stuff, billing, invoicing, answering phone calls, things like that, you've just bought yourself a job. So from the small business world, your vision should be, okay, what can I set up so I can get the business to where I want it to be? And a lot of times, one of the questions is, how do I get out of the field? And we're going to talk about that. So, building your pipeline before you need it. Now, there are some businesses that have a slow season, and it comes the same time every year, folks. Your slow season and your busy season should not be a surprise to you. You know when they happen, you know roughly for how long they happen. Are you preparing for those each year, or even if it's every other quarter, whatever it is? Are you preparing for that, or are you with your pipeline? Let's say, let's look at your slow season. If you know your slow season starts basically November 1, are you waiting till October 30th to start? I better put a plan together for the slow season. What am I going to do? Or do you start looking at that in April and May and June so you can plan for it? And one of the examples we give is in the uh, air conditioning world, the HVAC world. They know in the wintertime, not many people are calling them because they can sleep at night. They're going to call them today when it's the heat index is going to be 103. That's when they call their AC guy because they need some help. But in December, when it's 38 degrees outside and you got a little bit of heat on, you could probably even survive without the heat, couple more blankets. You don't really need to call. That's not why you call. But for businesses like that, when they're seasonal, one of the things we talk about is getting maintenance plans put together so at least you have some revenue coming in year round because you may go out once a month, once a quarter, but you can bill them for that. Plus, it keeps your people busy. And that's the other thing, especially in the trades world. If I can't keep you busy and you're not making your 40 hours at your whatever your wage is, uh, you're going to call somebody else for a 40-hour a week job. That's just the way it goes. So goal number one is keep them busy. Do you, And again, marketing is where a lot of business owners get into trouble. One of the biggest mistakes they make is they stop marketing and networking when they're busy. Now, you can't stop networking, selling, marketing. You just can't. In your busy season, you can adjust it, but you still have to keep doing that because on November 1, if you didn't do any marketing during the summer, your phone's not going to ring much and you're going to wonder, well, why isn't my phone ringing? Well, it's because you stopped marketing. And we've told people that over and over again. So it's always finding opportunities to talk with someone. If you're in the car all the time, and if you've got to drive 25 minutes to a meeting, why are you, and you know where you're going, so you don't need MapQuest or anything like that or Google Maps. Why are you not calling someone just to check in and say hi to keep that relationship alive? Maybe, you know, give them an example on something. Hey, I've been thinking about this. I thought you and I could work well together on this. And you may have to have 7 a.m. coffee so you can be somewhere at 8 a.m. to get started. That's fine, but you can't stop marketing. And that's what reactive small business owners do. So, well, I'll just start calling some people in November. I mean, everybody knows what I do. I'll just give them a call and they may have committed to someone else. You don't know. You can't assume just because they know you that they're going to put everything on a hold and hope you call them. That's not going to happen. Do you know what actions create activity for your business? Do you track that? One of the things when I do my BNI training is asking people to understand where their business is coming from. Because there's two parts to this. One is who's referring business to you. And the second part is what does the actual client look like? So we're going to break that up. The first thing is, do you know where your business is coming from? So if somebody called you last week and you're talking to them, at any point in time, did you stop to think and say, hey, Mike, how did you hear about me? Oh, yeah, yeah, so and so told me to call you, or I saw you left some business cards at a restaurant. I saw your post on social media, whatever it is. We need to know what's working so we can do more of that, so we can proactively do more of that. But you can't assume just because the phone's ringing that everything is working. That's not a logical conclusion to come to. So those are the things, the proactive actions that are going to build your pipeline before you need it. Don't wait. Don't wait till it's too late. It's kind of like waiting till, all right, so the holidays are coming up soon. I always eat a lot because there's food everywhere. I'll just start heading to the gym December 15th. No, that's a little late to head to the gym to get into shape for the holidays or to lose some weight because you know you're going to eat it back. One of the things I'm working on right now in my business is systems because I am not real good at details, not real good at focusing sometimes. Systems, I got pieces of paper everywhere on my desk, and that's not productive either. So I'm making myself learn and create systems. And I'm using ChatGPT, and it's wonderful because I tell them how my eyes see it. I've looked at other CRMs and trackers and stuff like that, and they sell you this or send you this, hey, here's our, $28 a month or $280 a month, and it does 91 things. Well, it's like, I need three. I have an Android phone, folks. Okay. I just don't need a lot of bells and whistles because I'm not wired to be intrigued on that. I wasn't a car guy growing up. I inherited my mom's 2008 Toyota Camry that I still drive. I'm happy with that. I don't need a go fast car, and I certainly don't need a car payment. So, what systems do you have set up in your business? Do you that are going to make you more proactive? It's going to give you time back so you can go do what you want to do and need to do, which is hopefully grow your business or hire someone. So, do you create something every time you need it? Well, I got a new client coming on board. Let me just retype the agreement. or redo the whole process? Do you have that process set up? So if you onboard me today as a client, you know the first four things you're going to email me. You need information about me and my business. So that's a form to fill out. Do I need to sign anything from you? Do you have a document that explains what the relationship is? Or do you create those every time? And you can't do that. Keeping everything in your head is not a good idea. Kind of old school, and it's a little selfish, and you're not helping yourself unless you get it out, create a system. Just look around all at your house again, going back to the air conditioning unit. What all systems are keeping your house up and running? What systems are in your engine in the car? Same thing, same thought process. So if you get those set up, usually only have to do them once or twice. Then you get them set up. For example, when I do, we're in the middle in BNI of changing over leadership on October 1, president and vice president and the other roles. And I'm in the middle of doing training 3 days a week. So when my 75-minute training for whatever role is over, I know that I have to put their names in the system to mark them as trained. And I know I have to send them the slide deck that I trained them on. And if there's some ancillary documents that I told them I'd send them. But I have that system in place now instead of, all right, the training ended at 3:15. I'm going to take a break. I'll just do that later. I forget stuff. I've coming to reality. Turned 65 a couple months ago, folks. Reality, you got to listen to it and figure out what you're good at and what you're not. So that's the first thing I'd look at is if you're a business owner or even if you're a business professional, you work for somebody else, what systems do you need in place to be more efficient? Because if you're more efficient, you have more time. And if you have more time, then you can go make more money or you can cut out early every day. But that's the beauty of owning your own business or running your own book of business. So basically, here's the rule if you're looking at what do I need to put into a system? If I teach something more than once or do something more than once, I should probably turn it into a tool, a worksheet, a process, or framework for the business. So if you'll start jotting down the things you do normally in your job every week, what's in a system? What do you need? Let's say you post on social media, and let's say you post on Facebook. Do you have a template with your company colors or a design? Your picture goes over here, the text goes over here, things like that. Or do you just recreate every week so it looks completely different? Or do you have a template and you change the picture and maybe the title of something and a quote so people are trained to look for that image? So now when they see red with yellow or blue with whatever colors go with blue on social media, they're like, oh, that's from Mike. That's right. I need to check that out. Another mistake business owners make on being proactive or reactive is protecting our time to work on the business. So here's the other problem new business owners generally get into is, oh, so busy on working in my business, I don't have time to work on my business. And again, if you're a service-based business, the first year, that may be the only thing you can do is work into business, to build clients, to bring in revenue, to decide, okay, this was a good idea. But eventually, as an owner, you likely have to start working on the business. So does everybody get your time? No matter who calls when or what email is sent when, you stop everything you're doing and you deal with that. Don't know if you have a client that they're trying to convince you it's an emergency. Not really an emergency. It's an emergency from them because you sent me an email last week. Hey, Mike, I need this information so I can do this for you. And I need it by Tuesday at 9 a.m. And I call one of those clients that calls you Monday at 2 p.m. Oh, Amnon, emergency. You need to stop and help me. I didn't do this. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And you casually would say, you mean the email I sent you last week? Yeah. So what's an emergency? There's some true client emergencies. Don't get me wrong. Okay. But that's why I love the morning. like early mornings, like 4 a.m. in the morning, because you can get stuff done before everybody inflicts their life onto yours. That's what they're doing when it's not an emergency. They just failed to plan for it. Emails. Do you have a time? Do you do 30-minute windows of not checking email? Set your timer, get up out of your chair, set the timer with, whoever I don't want to say their names because it'll probably start that unit in their house, so I don't say that. I set my oven timer. If I need to do something because when I came here today, I always set the timer for the same time. So it gives me a 10-minute window to get up, finish something, and get all the stuff I need to come over here to the studio to do the show. And the other thing it gets me is up out of the chair. So I have to literally walk to the kitchen, to the stove, and turn it off. Okay. That way it makes me get up and I'm aware of it because I'm not going to sit there and listen to that thing buzz for a half hour. I won't forget about it. But that's the other thing I'd love for you to start doing is blocking time. Uh, what you put on your calendar. Having this conversation with my wife yesterday because I'm getting better at a calendar, but I don't put everything on it. Still feel like I can have a calendar on my phone and a checklist next to my computer. I'm getting better at it, but probably not the most efficient way to do it. And I said, okay, if somebody told you, hey, Becky, there's about 2 o'clock, you should be getting this email. Can you be on the lookout for it? I said, what do you do with that information? She goes, a lot of times I'll just put it on my calendar, 2 o'clock, look for this. And then she doesn't have to worry about it anymore. It's on her calendar. So what's best for you to be proactive, to protect your time so you can focus on what you need to focus on in that window. Let's say you schedule, 1 to 2 o'clock this afternoon to work on quarterly whatever for your business. I'll do that and I'll check emails and things like that. I mean, do you stay focused? So figure that out as well. Don't let every urgent request become a priority. You can let things go to voicemail and you can flip up on your screen. I'll call you back. You can set up one of those. Hey, I'm with a client right now. Can I call you back later? You're a client of yourself. I don't know if you know that, but as a business owner, you need to treat yourself like a client. Hey, I have to do that as a business coach. I have to stop and coach myself sometimes. Quit doing that, Mike. It's not efficient. Set this up, Mike. This will help you be more efficient. And I have a dashboard that I set up with AI. And we talked for probably about 4.5 hours one weekend. And I just typed in, here's what I need. And then AI created it. And I said, no, that's not going to work for me. I don't need that column or that column. I needed one page. So what we set up was an Excel spreadsheet because I don't need anything fancy. I just need something that my eyes see. And I've got 7 categories on there. Coaching, BNI, podcasting, a couple others like that. And that's where I put my stuff to do. Not maybe daily as much as I should, but for the week. So what are you doing like that to be more proactive to protect your time to work on your business? So I'm realizing I need to hold myself accountable. So what do you have at the house or your personal life? You have things on list. We have one of those dry erase boards on the refrigerator, right? The other day I changed the air filters and I put on in the upper right-hand corner, just says air filters, and I erase the date, put the new date in. And I know in 90 days, I change them again. But I've got it on there instead of guessing, thinking, and I write the date on the filter. So if anybody else had to come look for it, they know exactly what day it was put in. Not bad, huh? I'm not a fix-it guy around the house, folks. I was very proud of myself on that. Hey, we got to take the wins where we have them, okay? We got to take the wins. So, but it's things like that even around the house. Let's say Tuesday, usually Thursday afternoon is my vacuuming day. I work from home. My wife doesn't. So I try to do a lot of stuff so when she gets home, she doesn't have to do that. 'Cause I have a little more flexibility than she does. That's kind of getting into my routine, right? So schedule time for business development Schedule time to improve your business. What processes need to be updated? Do you need a new form of something? Technology has improved. Do you need to upgrade something? When I get finished with this show, I download it as an MP4 audio file, video file, and then I have to convert it to MP3, which is just audio that I can put up on Spotify. And I found a free app because I asked and I looked. I found a free app called Cloud Convert, and I upload my MP4 and I click MP3 audio, and it changes it into MP3. It pulls out the audio, and I'm good to go. It converts it. Systems like that. Do you need a new one? You need to find something like that for your business that will just translate something for you or convert for you. It's worth it, folks, especially when they're free. All right, so last week we talked about reverse engineering. Um, Work from the outcome backwards. Instead of saying, what do I need to do today? Yesterday, so I started another thing. 10 promises to myself. And you guys call it whatever you want to motivate yourself, but that's what I look at because every time it's like 10 promises, right? So 10 things I wanted to do this week. And I literally titled the document 10 promises to myself. But it's only got 10 things on there, and it's one page. And I typed the things, and so far this week, um, we're just a couple hours into this week, and I've already completed one, and I have two more halfway done. But again, for me, I need it simple, and I need it right in front of me. I don't need fancy with bells and whistles. One of the things we talk about is decide where you want to go with your business. Maybe you look at things quarterly, maybe you look at things annually. Where do you want to go? And then we got to identify what has to happen. Usually in small business, you'll know your conversion rate to get a new client. And we stay so focused on getting a new client, we forget how we did it. So let's say your conversion rate, I'm going to give you an easy one, 20%. So for every 5 people you talk to, or 5 people you interview, 5 proposals you get, whatever the 5 is, on average, you get a new client. Great. We're not worried about the client anymore. We're worried about the 5 things. So let's say you need 5 good uh, conversations, and on average, you get a new client. All right, great. So now we've stepped away. Now we're just focusing on the number 5 because it's the action that gets the client. Because we know the system will work, right? Now we got to figure out what actions we need to do to get to the 5 conversations. Do I need to make 20 phone calls? Do I need to post 2 things a week? What do I need to do to create those 5 conversations, which I know if I do my job right, I'll get a client out of that on average. You may get none this week, but 2 next week. That's why we say on average. So do you have that proactive list ready that on your calendar each day or each week, 10 phone calls each day or 4 check-ins each day? And I'm trying to put that together as well to grow my business of who do I need to check in with? Who haven't I talked to a little bit? Who could, maybe we could work together, or who might have a client that I could help, right? So it's those type of things. I want to work with digital marketers in my BNI. If I was in a BNI chapter, which I'm not, but I'm hopefully getting back in soon. If we had a digital marketer in that chapter, I would sit with them, explain to them what I do as a coach. I don't do any digital marketing. I don't build websites, no interest in that. But I can help your clients grow their business so they have to hire you, and that means you're going to get paid more. They're going to have to hire you for more stuff, so you're going to make more money. So now I'm making a list of digital marketers and business attorneys that have and web developers that have clients that maybe I could help, so their client makes more money and they can hire my friends for more work, right? So those are the proactive things. So I've got to do 25 activities to get to the 5 conversations that'll get me the client. Do you have that list set up? You know what you have to do? Do you know which one of those actions work? That's what you got to know. That's why I beg people to track where their business is coming from. So you know that if you track business and you know for 4 months you've been going to this gathering, this meeting, whatever, and you've not gotten any business from it, but you know you've been there, you've been doing the work, you've been following up with people, and no business has come of it, maybe you need to stop going to that activity or that meeting. Maybe that's the answer. And figure out, well, this, what I do here really works. Maybe you can find another one of those. So you're doing 2 of those a week to get you more money. That's how you look at things. That's how you be proactive. All right. So the last one here is again, we're going to follow up your weekly operating system. Now, how often do you say this morning, which is Monday, what do I need to do today? And then Friday afternoon, you look at the list and go, wow, where did the week go? I think we all have said that. We probably always will say that. But did the week get away from you because you didn't track anything and you're working in your business? Or where did the week go because you were so productive because you tracked stuff, you had a plan? That's the question to ask. Did you continue to let unimportant things get important things get pushed aside by unimportant things? Did that happen? Why are you doing that? Can you start? You don't have to leave a voicemail that says, I only do phone calls at whatever time of day. But just know that you can you can hit go to voicemail, send them a quick note back. Hey, Mike, can I call you back at 1 o'clock? Yeah, great. Look forward to it. You'd be surprised how many people just appreciate that acknowledgement that they called you. Set it up that way. You can do that. So start the week knowing what matters. So we're early August. I think we're August 10th today. So we're early August. Summer's kind of starting to wrap up. If you're in the trades business, home services business, you're probably still busy. It's only going to be 103-degree heat index today. But the sun was up from about 6:30 till about 7:55. So there's your workday right there, right? But what do you know that you have to get done that's going to matter this week? That's first thing. I asked you to make a list of 10 things, 10 things you promise to do for yourself. Instead of 10 things I got to do. I look at that. It's like every now and then I'll be working with somebody on accountability for something. I love that because I don't want to disappoint them. And then review if you did it. Review if you did it. So the 10 things I promise myself to do every week are actions, not goals. They are actions. Goals are a strong word, very imposing. Man, I got all these goals, haven't hit any of them. But if you put down 10 things to do, a phone call, I had to email something to one of the chapters. And that was on my list. They had asked for it. We talked about it last Thursday, put it on my list. Second thing I did this morning. So now it's done. That action is done. So that chapter's happy. Now, I will replace that in 2 weeks with a follow up with this group, but I got the action done. So are you doing that? So are you following up with prospects? Are you scheduling one-to-ones? And again, this is knowing especially if your slow season's coming up, contacting referral partners. Do you create content on social media? I need to. Not wired to do a lot of that. That's a lot of detailed work. A lot of detailed work. So, but do you do that? Do you do it at the same time? Do you schedule it? Or do you just I'll do my Facebook this morning and I'll post that. I'll do my LinkedIn and I'll post it. Or do you use a scheduler, speaking of processes and systems? So there are plenty of good schedulers out there. You create the content, upload it to the schedule. Monday at 9 a.m. this goes out. Tuesday at 1 p.m. this goes out, and you're done. It's all done for you. So now you have that extra time instead of stopping Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Oh, I got to stop and upload this to LinkedIn. It's already done. Make a note for yourself at 2 o'clock. Check on LinkedIn. Make sure it's there. And it's there. and you're off and running, and you just saved yourself some time to do some other stuff for your business. So being proactive doesn't mean you never react. So we're clear on that, okay? Things happen. That's part of owning a business. You may have that client calling with, I know Amnon does computer stuff. Sometimes things happen with computers. That's kind of an emergency. His goal is keep their business up and running. That's why they stay with him for years and years and years. Okay? Nothing you can do about that. But the goal is to make sure today's emergencies do not consume all of your time, as you need to grow tomorrow's business and October's business and December's business. So watch this week how many things you think are emergencies that I have to do. Now, you probably have to do them, but you have to do them right now. If you've got an open window from 2 to 2:45, could you push it back till then? What can you be proactive about, and what can you quit being reactive? So what am I going to do to make tomorrow easier? All right. If I need 4 things done tomorrow, that's on my list of activities to do on Monday. So when you go to bed, and how many of you, I've got some friends that their email inbox is not, they don't go to bed till that email inbox is cleared out or answered or delegated. Very impressive. I'm not there yet. I can sleep just fine with a full email box. But I am getting better on where I put those. I have a folder that says tomorrow, and that's where I put it. If somebody needs something done tomorrow that I can't do today, I just slide it over into the tomorrow folder. So when I wake up tomorrow, look in that. Oh, that's right. I need to send, okay? So systems, processes, you need to make sure you have running so you can be proactive. Then you can control more of your day, which hopefully will lead to more revenue, which then you can decide, do I want to save it? Do I want to go on a vacation, spend it? What do I want to do? You want to set up things so most all the decisions are in your control. You will never have 100% control on decisions. I don't care how, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't care how controlling you are. You're not going to get there to 100%. But, it's a line, and I'm not a big quote guy, but there are certain things you can control, so control them. Your calendar, for the most part, you can control. You can control. So control them. Set up a process, set up a system. Onboarding a new client, here's my system. You want to get it to the point where you could hand it to somebody, show them once, twice at the most, and then they can do it. Because if you want to grow your business, you're going to have to give something up, at least one something. You're going to have to hire somebody. You're going to have to outsource something. You're going to have to. So that comes down to trust. So I know I've hired the right person. Now I want to give them the systems and processes. So it's just as if you're doing it. And your clients are like, wow, they want consistency. If you told me you're going to send it by noon, send it by noon, and make sure it's consistent. Not like, hey, Mike, yeah, I didn't get a chance to put all this together. So if you look at the 3 documents I sent you and just kind of piece them together, you'll know where to do that. And then just, send me what I need. Not a good idea. So anyways, the goal this week is what can you make proactive and what can you eliminate from being reactive? Send me a note, openmictalk@gmail.com. Send me a note. Let me know what works for you. I'm a big fan of procuring information, and I do give credit. So if you have a system or process, I'd love to share it with people. But send me that. I'm all ears. I'm 65, but I'm not too old to learn. So that's the beauty of being curious. So where do you want to, again, goes back, where do you want to be? All right. So, folks, I've enjoyed it. I will have a guest next week. I booked the next 2 weeks. I'm going to quadruple confirm every day. Make sure we have a guest, bring you some more good stories. But thank you for hanging out with me today. See you next time on Capital to the Coast BNI.
You're attuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by StreamingGear.com and DeltaForce.net.